What's up, y'all? This is a discussion video. I'm starting to do these like philosophical slash discussion videos. So for today, it's gonna be a discussion on Naruto, and it's gonna be why I believe Naruto is also a realistic character. Naruto himself, Naruto Uzumaki, we're talking about, not the series as a whole. So I'm gonna be hitting on a few points today, but the main point is that in the Pain arc is really showed his character development. Because I realized at the beginning of the series, he really wasn't shit. He was kind of a little kid trying to chase after Sasuke. That was his whole character at the beginning, Shippuden. But they fleshed out his character in the Pain arc. Actually, before the Pain arc, when Jiraiya died, I really think that sort of pushed him into development because he's really never had that pain of loss before. He's always been alone. He's never had anybody really there for him. So once he's had that love and it's been taken away, he has really experienced pain, and that was the whole point of Pain. That was his whole character, to teach Naruto pain. So during the invasion of Pain, he learned Sage Mode. He ends up beating Pain, and interesting thing happens. He goes to talk to Nagato, which is the person who created Pain. And a lot of people didn't like that, which I didn't understand. I wouldn't say a lot of people didn't like that. I'd say a lot of people didn't understand that. Why did he just kill him? Why he has to talk to him? Here's the thing. The whole theme with Naruto, in my opinion, is philosophical. At the end of the day, when even dealing with villains, it's all philosophical. It's a difference in ideals. That's really it. When it boils down to anything, like after the fighting's done, after each person has battled it out, it always comes down to a difference in ideals. One person believes this is the case, one person believes this is how the world should be, and they fight it out. That has always been the case. Now, because it came down to just a talk no jutsu, because it came down to him talking to him, a lot of people didn't really like that, and I loved it, bro. That's what I love about Naruto. It's not just mindless fighting. It's not just them beating the shit out of each other and killing each other for no reason. No, it's an ideal. It's a reason behind why they're doing what they're doing. And so Nagato's reason, of course, was because the pain that he felt, the pain that he went through, everything he saw. He was trained by Jiraiya as well to be the child of prophecy, or so he thought. And they're both children of prophecy, technically, or students of Jiraiya. So they had the same sort of mentality about peace. Like they both wanted peace, but they just went different ways about it. Like Pain's view, or Nagato's view of peace, was control, was to be able to get all the tail beasts and sort of put, I want to say put the world under Genjutsu. I think that's what his plan was. I have to go back and rewatch it, but I believe that's what his plan was. But anyway, yeah. So Naruto, at this point in the game, he didn't have a plan. He did not have a plan for peace. I don't believe he had a plan for peace. But just the fact that this man went up there to sit down and talk to him, rather than trying to kill him, he wanted to talk to him, and I respect that. Okay, because he even said it himself to Nagato. Like he said, "I'm itching to kill you." Like this man wanted to kill him, but he put his emotions aside, which is a manly thing to do. Be able to kind of hold off or control your emotions for the time being, to hear what he has to say, hear his viewpoint, hear why he's doing what he's doing. A lot of people don't agree with that. A lot of people think that's weak or whatever, but that's the most manly, mature thing you can do. To put your emotions aside and sit down and talk to somebody. After because y'all already fought it out. Naruto already beat him. So what else is there? Like he would have killed him and that's it? No, he needed to talk. He needed to talk to him in order to grow. This is about character growth. You can't. There will be no room for character growth if we just sat there and beat his ass and did not discuss anything with this man. So he needed to see why he did what he did. What caused him to do what he did, even though he was Jiraiya's student. Why did he take a separate path? What happened? So I really think this is when Naruto started to come into his own character, and it goes back to show you how how people grew up, how different people grew up, you know, because the parallels from Naruto and Sasuke is, you know, Sasuke grew up differently, Naruto, because Sasuke had the family, and you know he knows what it's like to have the love, and he lost it, and so he fell into hatred. Now, I know I'm gonna step on a few toes by saying this, but I personally believe Naruto is more mature than Sasuke, and yeah, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that comment, but the reason why I say that is because this man, he was able to, like I said, put that aside and talk to him. I mean, he still wanted to kill him. He still wanted to kill Nagato, but he was able to put that shit aside and talk to him. Whereas on the other hand, Sasuke, all Sasuke was worried about was killing, like just killing whoever fucked up the system or fucked up the ninja world, killing whoever made, you know, his brother kill his clan. That's it. You know, he wanted, the only time he wanted to talk to somebody is to confirm, hey, did you send Itachi to kill my clan? And he was like, yeah, okay, you're dead. Boom. What is that? What is that? You know, and that's also a part of Sasuke character development as well. You know, both characters went through development, and the reason why I say Naruto is more mature is because Sasuke didn't start to really sit there and understand until he went and was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and talk to the Hokages. He wanted to talk to them. You see what I'm saying? Everything boils down to conversation. You can get much more out of somebody by their ideals, you know, the conversation, because that's all it boils down to. So he went to talk to Hokages about why they did what they did, you know, what is a shinobi, what is a village, stuff like that. And that's when I think Sasuke started to mature as well with his character. So, yeah. But anyway, I want to talk about Naruto with this video. I'll be paralleling both of them, but I really want to talk about Naruto in this one first. So, okay, the meeting with Sasuke is the second point. So, you know, after Sasuke goes psycho and Sakura meets up with him and tries to kill him or whatever, Naruto shows up. So, you know, notice, just if y'all haven't, go back and rewatch it, because I watched it recently. So go back and rewatch it and notice the interaction they had. Notice the interaction he had with Kakashi and Sakura. Okay, he didn't really like give two shits about him, to be honest with you. You know, he wasn't really here to hear all their bullshit, because they didn't really understand. You see what I'm saying? They didn't understand what he went through. The only person he let talk to him, or he listened to even at all, was Naruto, because he respects Naruto. You know, he respects his opinion. No matter what y'all say, Naruto and Sasuke have, you know, they have this respect for each other, regardless of, you know, their differences in ideals and him wanting to kill him. At the end of the day, he still respects him because of what, you know, what he went through and him getting stronger and everything. So he respects him as in sort of an equal, but he doesn't want to admit it. That's just Sasuke's character, bro. You know, he doesn't want to admit that Naruto is an equal, because he has a superiority complex. That's him. So anyway, with the meeting with Sasuke, Naruto goes on to say, yeah, everything you've been doing, I get it. I understand you. And Sasuke, of course, gets mad, and he's like, you know, why the fuck are you always like this? Like, I'm over here threatening to kill you and your whole fucking squad and everybody you care about, and you sit here and say that to me? Like, what's wrong with you? You know, why do you care so much about me? Why are you so fixated on me? And Sasuke, or Naruto, says, because you're my friend, bro. You know, you're my homie. Now, again, a lot of people don't like that, because it's like, oh, I ain't just about to let my friend beat my ass and kill me, da da da. He's not doing that. Y'all not understanding. See, this is where I say Naruto is one of the realists on that show. Even with Gaara, bro, he went out of his way to save that man. If he considers you a friend, he considers you a friend, bro. And deep down, it's more the friendship, because people are looking on it on a surface level. You know, they're seeing, oh, it's a friend, so, you know, friends don't mean that much. But let me put it to you this way. If it was your brother or your sibling going out doing something like this, doing these things that Sasuke is doing, would you try to stop him? Would you try to understand him, see where his head is at? I mean, that's the same way Naruto feels. His mindset is that that's his brother. You know, they're not family, they're not related, but that's still his brother, because, you know, they fought together, they sacrificed their lives for each other, so that's a brother in arms, technically. You know, like when you're on the battlefield, like people out in war, you know, soldiers, people in the military, they have that brotherhood. Even if you aren't family, y'all still brothers, bro. So, but I do get that, the betrayal factor and him still like trying to, be friends with him and everything is kind of But at this point in the game, Sasuke, I'm trying to really make a case for him, but Sasuke really hasn't done anything to warrant, I want to say, like a sort of warrants like Naruto wanting to kill him, basically. Everybody else want to kill him because he's a rogue ninja and they feel like he can't be saved, but they didn't. I don't know. I feel like they didn't really try as hard. Like Sakura, she tried, but she tried based on emotions. She tried to connect with him on her emotional level, trying to say that she loved him, so he needs to change, and you can't do that. Like that's not how Sasuke talks. That's not how he gets down. You gotta come at him with facts, bro. Like you gotta show this man what you mean, which I'll get to at the end of the Naruto vs Sasuke fight at the end. But yeah, he meets with him, he talks to him, he tells him how he's been his goal ever since, blah blah blah. How he's friends with him, whatever, stuff like that. So after this meeting, Sasuke gets even more pissed off, and he's like, I want to destroy Naruto with all my power. I want to get the EMS basically, because he was going blind also. But yeah, I feel like he was the only one to really get through to Sasuke, and Sasuke didn't like that, because if you notice, Sasuke's mindset was starting to shift. Even be it ever so slightly, but his mindset was shifting because it was Naruto who was talking to him. Trust me, y'all need to rewatch it. Like rewatch it and pay attention to the interaction. Like really pay attention on a deeper level, like them talking to each other, bro. So he gets irritated because if it didn't bother him, he wouldn't get irritated. He gets irritated because Naruto is pissing him off, essentially. Like, why the fuck is he doing this? Like, why are you trying to be so understanding? I don't want you to understand me, basically is what he's saying. I won't change, and I don't want you to understand me. So he's rejecting Naruto's ideas, and he goes to get more power with the EMS. Okay, so the third thing that I want to talk about is the fight with Obito. The Ten Tails, when he's Ten Tails Jinchuriki. So after they finish fighting, he sits down and talks with them, right? Or they talk in this little fucking world inside his head, world, whatever. I don't know what the fuck that is, but they basically communicate with each other. Since they're high level shinobi, all that bullshit, they can talk to each other. So, like I said before, after the fighting, it all comes down to just a discussion. That's it. Just kind of both of you guys telling your ideas and agreeing to disagree, or trying to agree. So basically they're having a debate, essentially, is what it is. It's a debate. So Naruto's like, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I believe, if I remember correctly, Naruto's like, hey, you're not the Obito Rin would have liked. Come back to our side, blah blah blah. You can still be saved, essentially. And Obito was like, nah, fuck that. At first he was like, he was shifting towards it, but he was like, nah, fuck that. This world is not, it's not true. It holds only despair. To which Naruto gets pissed off, retaliates, and hits him and says, wake up. So, but basically, in Naruto's defense, Naruto went through a huge ordeal. He went through two of them. Well, three, if you want to count Jiraiya, but I'm not counting that right now. So the second one is him going to the Waterfall of Truth and dealing with his hatred. A lot of characters didn't do that, and Naruto essentially, I want to say Killer Bee did the same thing, but Naruto went to the Waterfall of Truth to deal with his own hatred. So once you overcome that hatred within yourself, or once you overcome or work on yourself to be a better person, any outside force can't work against you. See what I'm saying? So he was able to see that, since he knew what the hatred in him looked like. He was able to reflect that into another person. Like, he could see that in another person. He could see the good qualities, he sees the bad qualities, and that's what it all boils down to: ultimate understanding. You know, that's what Naruto's character is. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be understanding, what human understanding can achieve to. So, but yeah, like I said, a lot of people don't have that mentality. They're not thinking that way. They wanna agree with Sasuke's ideals, like, well, Sasuke's more realistic, you know, da da da. Really, both characters are realistic, because it all boils down to how you're raised or how you grew up. That's what I keep saying. I keep saying that, and I stay by it, because all Sasuke's known from a little child, like once Itachi killed his clan, is hatred. You know, Itachi pretty much drilled that into him, fucked him over. It was like, yeah, because even Itachi admitted it. You know, he said, I wish I would have, you know, told you about the clan, told you about everything, instead of like doing what I did. You know, if I had told you everything, it would have, maybe the outcome would have been different. You know, maybe everybody could have been saved. Maybe it could have been a different way. You know, but I sat there and took on everything, and you know, while I was doing that, I was pushing you away and making you hate me. So Itachi pretty much fessed up to him fucking up Sasuke's life, essentially. But yeah, so Sasuke is all he's known growing up is hatred, is hating, you know, that emotion. So of course, whenever a problem arises in his life, that's gonna be the first thing he goes towards, is hatred. Whereas Naruto, you know, the only thing he's really known is to kind of persevere, to endure, to like keep going no matter what happens. Like that's his thing. Like he can't give up, because he knows what it means to give up. Like he loses everything because he's never had anything, so he knows to go back to that would just be defeat. It's non-existent. He can't let that happen. So that's why I believe his character is also realistic, because people who grew up in the slums, people who grew up, you know, in third world countries, people who don't have anything, you know, all they know how to do is A, strive and be the best they can be, and don't give up and keep chasing your dreams, and B, they're the most giving people in the world. Like if you meet somebody who's struggled their entire life, I promise you they're the most giving people in the world. They're the most generous people in the world, because they know what pain is. They know how it is, and they don't want anybody else to go through that. So that is what Naruto's character is. He understands pain. That's why he went through the fight with pain, because he understands other people's pain. He went through the waterfall of truth to learn about himself and his pain and all the hatred he has in his heart, and he dealt with that. So now his character is just nothing but ultimate understanding. That is what peace is. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Peace is understanding. You can't achieve peace. That's why Sasuke's mentality was flawed, and that's why he lost, because his version of the Hokage was control. It was to be able to control everything through himself, take on all the hatred, and pretty much be like a catalyst for it. Like he felt as though the only reason why everybody came together is because of one common enemy, which is true. That is what led everybody to get together, but that's not what kept everybody together. You see what I'm saying? So, because think about it like this: if Naruto didn't, I know y'all remember that scene where Naruto he pretty much connected with everybody because they had the QB chopper, everybody had the QB cloak, so they can see everything that happened to him, his whole life, everything he went through, and that pretty much, you know, made them sympathetic towards him. And that's all it really is, y'all, is being sympathetic towards another human person, and really understanding, you know, their pain. Once you understand somebody's pain, like that's it, you understand them on an emotional level. So that is why near the end of the series, when his fight with Obito, when he was talking to him, he understood his pain. He was relating to him from that place. That's why whenever somebody else was talking to him, it wasn't going through. Kakashi, when Kakashi was talking to him, it wasn't going through. But I personally believe, well, no, actually, you know what? I take that back. Kakashi was the one that really was able to get through to him. You know, because Naruto was talking to him, but when Minato showed up, he was like, you know, the person I really believe who should be talking to you right now is you, Kakashi. You know, this is really technically, well, he didn't say it was his fault, but he was pretty much saying that it's your responsibility. You know, you guys are supposed to be watching out for each other, essentially. You know, y'all are like, y'all are best friends, y'all are bros. Y'all supposed to call each other on your bullshit. So, you know, Kakashi confessed his bullshit, to his fuck ups. Obito confessed to his, and that was that. They squashed it. They became bros again. That was it. And that's all it is, bro. It's forgiveness. It's understanding. It's all that. Because at the end of the day, what's happened has happened. You can't take it back. And yes, I do believe Obito should pay, because he did pay for his crimes. Karma came up to him and he died. He sacrificed himself. That was his payment. That was his payback. Just like Nagato sacrificed himself to revive everybody in the village. That was his karma. That was his payback to repay for all the quote unquote terrible shit he did. So everybody has consequences, and just because it's not him being killed by the main character or him being like locked away in prison doesn't mean he didn't have consequences for all the shit he did, because in the end he still died. You see what I'm saying? I mean, because the only reason why he died a noble death is because he changed his mindset. He changed who he was, or I don't even want to say he changed who he was. He was always that Obito, but he became true to himself at the end, and he got the noble death. He got the best death he could have ever gotten. You see what I'm saying? So, but if it was somebody like Madara, on the other hand, his death was sort of lackluster. He died with regrets because he didn't change in the end. He didn't want to see. Well, actually, I don't want to say that. See, I'm contradicting myself throughout this whole fucking video. But at the end, because the more I think about it, the more he did actually realize his fuck up. Because on his deathbed, he was sitting there with Hashirama saying, I realized that my way wasn't right. Maybe I should have went about it a different way. Maybe your way was right, Hashirama. I should have agreed with you. Blah 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 blah. And while they were talking, he was like, "You were always so naive, this and that, da, da, da." But maybe being naive is the way to go. Maybe that was the right way. Keeping that naivete and keeping that hopefulness is probably what I should have continued to do. So, yeah. Another point I want to talk about, which is probably the last one, is the one with Sasuke. I know this video is all over the place, but give me some leeway, guys. This is my first video about doing this fucking topic or doing discussions and shit, so I'm all over the place. Like, that's just me. I'm always all over the place with my discussions. I like talking about a million things at once, so it's gonna be all over the place. But the last point I want to go with is his fight with Sasuke. Now, this one is a culmination of all the fights of all the people he's fought. So it's culmination of pain, of Obito. It's culmination of all the major villains of Madara. It's all of them. That's who Sasuke is. Sasuke is literally the exact opposite of Naruto. He is Naruto's darkness to Naruto's light. Like Naruto's the light, Sasuke's darkness. Yin and yang. That's pretty much it. That's what it boils down to. Balance. So their discussion at the beginning, because they talked before they fought and then they talked after they fought. If you guys remember, when their first Valley of the End fight, they talked before the fight, and then they talked in the middle of the fight, and they sort of talked near the end, but they didn't have a discussion at the end because they were both knocked out, or Naruto was knocked out. So there wasn't a connection after that, after they fought. It was just like oh well, I win, so my idea is better. Boom. So if y'all remember at the beginning of the Valley of the End fight, the part one, Naruto was pretty much telling Sasuke, hey, you need to be grateful because Neji and everybody else risked their lives to save you. I risked my life to save you. Why are you doing this? Come back to the village. Orochimaru just wants to use you as his vessel, blah blah blah. Sasuke, the reason why Sasuke rejected this, and the reason why Sasuke didn't like or didn't even really listen to what Naruto had to say, was because Naruto was coming from an emotional place. He was sitting there telling Sasuke, he was telling Sasuke to be grateful. He was telling him to come back. He was telling him not to go to Orochimaru. You can't tell another man something. I mean, I understand they were boys at the time, but they were doing, going out his own, doing his own thing, finding his own way. That's a manly thing. So anyway, he was going out discovering himself, pretty much trying to go his own way to kill Itachi, doing his own thing. If a man is trying to do that, you don't try and stop him, no matter what means he's going to do it. Like, I get that you guys have a difference in ideals, like I get that from Naruto, but that's the reason Sasuke didn't even listen to him, or didn't even acknowledge him, or acknowledge his viewpoint. Like, he understood it, but he didn't acknowledge it because essentially Naruto was being selfish. You know, he was wanting him to stay in the village, and instead of, you know, being like, you know, I understand what you're trying to do. You know, you're trying to kill Itachi. I get it, but just know that Orochimaru is trying to do this and that. You know, and not saying that they probably still would have fought, but who knows? You know, maybe Sasuke would have came back after he trained with Orochimaru and then went to go kill Itachi or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? But that's just theories. That's just fucking headcanon. But anyway, yeah. So the second boat fight, you know, this time they actually have like substance to what they're doing, why they're fighting. The reason why they're fighting is because they have different ideas of what Hokage means. You know, Sasuke wants to control and destroy the twisted ninja world and rebuild a new one in the form of revolution. Naruto wants to create peace and tranquility, have everybody come together. Everybody's already together as a village, so he doesn't see any need why they need to be destroyed. So he feels like everybody's already together, so he wants to just sustain that peace that they already have. To which Sasuke disagrees and says that the only reason why they have that is because they found one common enemy, and without another enemy, then they're just going to go back to fighting in war, which in the real world is true. That's why I say both characters are true, because Sasuke's viewpoint is true and Naruto's viewpoint is true, but the author didn't make it so that both of them weren't I'm losing my train of thought. The creator did not make it so that both of them were right and both of them were wrong. Both of them were right and they were wrong at the same time. It's a contradiction, y'all. See, the whole series deals with yin and yang. It deals with balance. Okay, one side, Naruto's side, is not completely true. He has flaws. There's no such thing as peace that can be sustained forever. There's always gonna that's what human nature is. Human nature is strife, chaos, fighting at its nature. Sasuke's viewpoint is true as well. You know, they only came together because of an enemy. That is true. Yet it is flawed because he wants to sit there and say that he can control all that from the sidelines and that he will be able to sustain peace for eternity by doing that. No, that is flawed. You can't do that. That's pretty much like a Hitler mindset, or like a Napoleon mindset. You know, him trying to take control, him trying to control everything. You know, from the shadows or whatever. But it's not gonna happen. That's not gonna work. So both of them have flaws, and both of them are actually correct. But I feel as Naruto is more mature in his answer because everybody's already connected. You feel me? Alright, sorry y'all, I had to restart the recording, but this is just kind of retouching on everything and ending the video with my last thought. But yeah, so I personally feel, this is just my opinion, you know, everything in this video is my opinion, so nobody get butthurt, nobody, oh well that's not right, blah, 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 blah. This is just my opinion, you know, you take it or leave it. But both of the characters were always meant to be yin and yang. They were meant to be the opposite of each other. So that is why at the end of the fight they came together. That is why they consider Sasuke the Shadow Hokage, because really, if you look at it, look at the previous Hokages and everything, there's always been one Hokage, except for the first and second, I believe. Well, actually, really, with the first and second, and with Hiruzen and Danzo, you know, there was always a Hokage and then a Shadow Hokage. You know, somebody who runs everything on the sidelines. But Danzo was just really shifty, his shit. Like, he was just really a shady ass character who was just an evil motherfucker. Like, he wasn't really what a Shadow Hokage was. And so that's why I feel like that balance of light and dark between Naruto and Sasuke, Naruto being the Hokage, the one, you know, who's there in front of the people, you know, the support system, the family dude, you know, the dude who's just there in the village as like a means of support and status. He's there. Whereas Sasuke is a Shadow Hokage, who's the one outside of the village, nobody really knows about, but he's outside the village, protecting the village from outside threats, incoming threats, and kind of relaying information back to the village. So that's why I say they work together in unison. They're supposed to work together. That is the point. That is the point of the series. They take both of their ideals and they come together to make sort of a unison. So both ideas are perfect. You see what I'm saying? So Naruto, because Naruto's idea is that he wants to sustain the pieces already there, right? Everybody's already connected. And Sasuke's idea is that he wants to control things from the sidelines, right? Well, both of them are doing that. Sasuke's technically controlling things from the sidelines. He's going out there and then, kind of stopping everything else, stopping the people who were doing wrong, stopping evil threats or whatever. That's what he wants to do. That's his redemption, for the shit that he's done. So everything all comes together at the end. You know what I'm saying? They were meant to both work together. That's why I feel like it is all philosophical. They're balancing light and darkness. If you think about it, those are the two dichotomies of the world, light and darkness. So that's why everything relates back to yin and yang, really. That's what the author was going for. So, but yeah, that's just inside my mind for this video. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably be doing more videos like this if you guys like it. If you like the discussion, I would definitely be doing more. So, you definitely should look forward to that in the future. But yeah, I actually had fun with this video. Even though I was all over the place, I know my ideas were like really sporadic or whatever, but I appreciate y'all for watching anyway, and thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and I might be coming out with another one next week. I'll probably be coming out with one every week. I try to do that every week or at least every couple of days. We'll see. But appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.